Hello. So I'm super stuffed up. I'm feeling kind of sick. But honestly, I wanted to do this anyway because I need something to cheer me up. So, fun fact about me, I used to be a big romance reader. That's all I ever wanted to read. So I have read a lot of really good and really bad romances. So this is 10 romance books that I loved before I got cynical. Because I stopped reading them because they got kind of formulaic, and also it's harder to find ones without sexual content now that I'm reading adult novels. So a lot of these are YA. And then I have a couple of newer editions. So let's get started. So the first one is Everything Leads to You by Nina Lacour. This book made me want to be a set designer. Oh my gosh. It's a great romance. It's sweet, but it's also not the only part of the book that's good, which is important when you're reading a romance, because if it's just the romance, it's probably not a good book. Next is All the Right Places by Jennifer Niven. This book made me cry. Like, so much. Like openly weeping, kind of. It was so sad, but it's also just great, believable romance. 18 boxes of tissues, though. I will give that warning, because I did not get that warning, and I wish I had had it. Words in Deep Blue by Cath Crowley. That's another one that you will need a box of tissues for. But it's really great, like, childhood friend romance. It's very well written. It talks about grief very well, and that's my cat. Come here, Freya. Come on. Come on. You have to show the camera now that they've seen your tail. Say hi. She does not like being held, as you can tell. So, yes. Words in Deep Blue is incredible writing, and I love it because it involves a lot of books, because part of it takes place in a bookstore, so lots of good feels, lots of sad feels. I really enjoy that book. The Disappearances by Emily Bain Murphy. I have read this multiple times because I just love it so much. So basically the concept is this girl goes to this town where her mother grew up, where basically every 7 years, something that we take for granted disappears. Like a mirror, like the ability to see a reflection in a mirror, gone. The stars, gone. So like, and they're starting to happen faster. And it's really, really, really interesting setting for a pretty good romance. Like, it's a sweet romance, but like the outstanding plot, I don't know if you could see the trend of outstanding plots here, but it's so good. I love it so much. It's definitely a really entertaining read. I definitely recommend it. The Chaos of Standing Still by Jessica Brody. I love that book so much. That book was a recommendation from a friend a while ago, and I just read it in like one straight sitting. It's about two people who get snowed in together at an airport, one of whom is coping with the death of her best friend. Yes, I like sad books. Okay, so I love that book so much. It's really great romance. Like, I really love it. Believable characters, some fun scenes that I just love. Sorry, I am ill, so ignore me. All right. Don't ignore me. Ignore the nose. Don't ignore what I'm saying. Okay. Next thing is Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen. Keep wanting to say Desden. It's Dessen. Dessen. So okay. This book, again, sorry, my nose is running, is so good. It's so good. It's one of those romances that it's like, I want them to make a movie of it so bad. Like, so bad. It would be so good. And it's about discovering who you are, accepting who you are, and finding somebody else who will help you through that journey. Oh, it's so good. Hey, movie producers, make this a movie. Please. Please. I am begging you. It would be such a good movie. Next one is Sweet by Emmy Laybourne. This book slays, literally. It's about this sweetener that people get addicted to and basically become vampires because of it, because they're so desperate for the sweetener that if it's in your blood, they want it. So basically there's this cruise ship, so already a petri dish, where they've been running the sweetener and only 2 people haven't been taking it, and then they fall in love, they have the romance, but it's also outstanding, like, vampire horror. It's so fun, and the ending, I won't say anything, but like, I love it so much. All right. Dumplin by Julie Murphy. This is another pick that I was like looking for to fill out because it's just a really feel-good book. The movie's fantastic. I watched the movie first, so of course people who read the book first and then watch the movie, they're like, I don't like the movie, but I watched the movie first, so I like both. It's so sweet. It talks about self-love and self-acceptance. And as well as just having a cute little romance that's super awkward. And I think that's good to have some super awkward picks in here, because romance is super awkward, especially when you're at that age and whenever you aren't secure in your body. So I really, really liked the way that it explored that, but also kind of overcoming it. Super good, definitely recommend it. Also a great friendship book. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. You got to include this if you're including best romance books, because Austen is the queen of romance books, and this is the one that was like fast-paced and entertaining, and of course it's just like, oh, everybody wants somebody like Mr. Darcy. Like, let's all be honest with ourselves, like we all want somebody like that. Maybe not who's mean, because he is kind of mean in the beginning, but like, so romantic, so great. If you want to like get into classics, it's definitely one of the first ones I would read because it's very accessible and I love it. And then this is the new edition, which is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I will recommend until I die. Taylor Jenkins Reid is a genius. That story is amazing. It's got great romance. It's got multiple different romances, and it talks about complicated relationships with complicated people, and also about blooming bisexuality and how to cope with that. So, lots of different picks, lots of different genres, because I read a lot of different genre romances. We got some just romance, we've got some realistic fiction, we got some horror, we've got some dramas, we've got lots of sad ones in there. So definitely recommend those. Those are my favorite romance books of all time, from somebody who doesn't really read romance anymore, or doesn't like actively seek it out. I hope you will read these books, and if you do, please comment and like tell me how you feel, because I have feelings and I like it when you have feelings, because then we can talk about our feelings and about how much we love books. I'm always down to talk about books, so please, in the comments, go talk to me about books. If you disagree, if you think there are other ones I should read, let me know. My little interest is, my quirk is I don't like sex scenes. I will read them if I have to, but I don't like them. So if you could find a romance that's a little bit more adult, but doesn't have sexual content, or like a lot of it, tell me, please. I am looking. I'm ready to get back into the romance field, as long as it's not awkward and as long as there isn't sexual content, or if there is, if it's not graphic, like I can handle that. Like, please give me book recommendations, and I will continue to be doing this whenever I get the idea of like, oh, I should probably talk about this. I love books. Talk to me about them. I will talk to you about them. I hope you're having a good day. I'm gonna blow my nose again. I really hate being sick. Goodbye.